Hey everyone, welcome. So today we're going to dive into some really powerful ideas from the book The Rich Identity. It totally flips the script on how we think about wealth. The big idea here is that true wealth isn't about chasing money. It's about becoming the kind of person that money is just naturally drawn to. So let's get right into it.
This is a question that I'm sure has crossed your mind, right? You work so hard, you try to save, but it feels like you're constantly pushing this huge boulder up a hill. And then you look over, and for some people, it seems like wealth just shows up, almost effortlessly. Well, today, we're going to unpack exactly why that is and look at a completely different way of thinking about it.
Okay, so let's start with the problem. The big trap that so many of us fall into. We're taught that chasing money is this noble thing to do, right? But what this book argues is that it's actually something totally different. It's this endless, completely exhausting chase that just leaves you feeling like you're on a treadmill, running as fast as you can but getting absolutely nowhere.
And this right here, this is really the heart of the whole message. You've got two columns. On one side, you have that hamster wheel we just talked about. It's all stress, it's draining, it just depletes you. That's the chasing money mindset. But then, look at the other side. You have this natural flow. That's what it feels like to attract money. And the key thing here isn't just the result, the money itself. It's about how it feels to get there. One way feels like you're fighting against the current, and the other feels like you're just flowing with it.
So that brings us to the core solution in the book, which is this idea of a complete identity reframe. The whole goal is to stop that crazy external chase for money and instead start doing the internal work, the work of becoming the kind of person who just naturally attracts wealth. So what exactly is this rich identity? Well, think of it as your internal self-image. It's the picture you have of yourself in your own mind. And this is not about faking it till you make it or pretending you're rich. Nope. It's about a deep-down belief in what you're capable of and what you truly deserve. This identity, it's like the invisible engine driving your whole financial life. It's what makes you say yes to some opportunities and, without even realizing it, no to others.
This really captures that idea perfectly. You see, opportunity, that open door, it's always out there somewhere. But here's the thing. True wealth isn't just what's on the other side of that door. It's about having the internal strength, the character, to actually be ready to walk through it when it shows up. And that really blows up our definition of wealth. It's so much more than just cash in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. The book makes this fantastic point that financial wealth is really just the tip of the iceberg. It's what you see. But what's underneath? It's the result of building up these 5 other types of wealth. Think about it. If you have emotional wealth, like resilience, you're not going to panic and sell everything when the market dips. If you have social wealth, strong relationships, doors are going to open for you that you'd never even find on your own. The idea is, if you focus on building these other areas, the money, well, it tends to follow naturally.
Okay, so the big question is, how do we actually build up these other kinds of wealth? Well, it all starts on the inside. It's all about mastering your inner world and laying that psychological foundation that all success is built on.
Every single one of us has a money story that we tell ourselves. And for a lot of people, that story is full of these limiting beliefs. Things like, money is hard to get, or I'm just not good with money. Maybe you feel like you're always just trying to keep your head above water. These aren't just random thoughts. They're like invisible walls that quietly sabotage our best efforts. They're shaping our financial decisions every single day, and most of the time we don't even know it's happening.
So how do you tear down those walls? Well, the book lays out a really clear 3-step process. First up is awareness. You just have to identify the belief that's holding you back. Just name it. Step 2 is reframing. This is where you actively replace that old limiting belief. So instead of money is hard to get, you might reframe it to something like money flows to where value is created. And then the most important part, step 3, action. You have to support that new belief with small positive decisions. Maybe you learn a new skill or open a savings account, something that proves to yourself that your new belief is the real one. And this quote just nails it. Emotional mastery leads to financial mastery. See, financial success isn't just about spreadsheets and numbers. It's about self-control. It's about having the ability to just pause, take a breath, and think clearly, instead of making crazy decisions based on fear or greed. That, right there, is the difference between building real, lasting wealth and just having some money that comes and goes. All right, so once you've done that inner work and your mindset is strong, how does that actually turn into, income, money in your pocket? Well, this next part is all about that. It's about creating the kind of value that the world literally can't help but reward.
I love this quote. The world pays for solutions, not stress. It's such a simple, fundamental truth. At the end of the day, money is just a tool we use to exchange value. And it always flows to people who solve problems, who meet needs, who make things better for other people. So, in a way, your income is just a measure of the value you're providing to the world. So, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you actually become valuable? The good news is, the answer isn't some big secret that only a few people know. The book actually lays out some really clear, practical ways to make yourself more valuable.
And here they are. Think of these as different paths you can take. You can solve important problems that people have. You can master a high-value skill that's in demand. You can build a rock-solid reputation for being credible and delivering with excellence. It's all about serving the needs that other people have. And every one of these steps adds to your own intrinsic value. It's not a one-time thing. It's this continuous loop of growth. And the more you focus on serving others in these ways, the more wealth just naturally finds you.
Okay, so this brings us to the final, really powerful idea in all of this. It's about transforming yourself into a magnet for wealth and opportunity. It's about getting to a place where attraction completely replaces that stressful chase.
Now, I know, after all this talk about inner work and creating value, they might all sound pretty complex. But the book does an amazing job of boiling it all down to one simple, powerful idea.
And here it is. You become the person money can't ignore. That is the essence of the rich identity. You stop being the one who's hunting for opportunities. Instead, you become the lighthouse. You build yourself into someone so competent, so reliable, so genuinely valuable that opportunities and money, they're just drawn to you. They can't help but find you.
So, what does this wealth magnet look like? What are their qualities? Well, for starters, they're always creating value by solving problems. They're emotionally stable. They don't create or get pulled into chaos. They have a quiet confidence that just communicates competence. They build habits that compound their success over time. And maybe most importantly, they have integrity. Their character builds trust. These are the things that make a person impossible to ignore.
And so that leaves us with one final question that really reframes this whole journey. It shifts our focus away from some external prize we're trying to win and turns it into an internal process of growth. It suggests that the path to wealth isn't some map you follow, it's a person you build. So instead of asking, how do I get wealthy, the real question is, who do you need to become? And that is a really powerful thought to leave you with.